the space between where you actually exist. Stick with me. There is something we've almost never noticed, yet is always here. The space between words, the silence between breaths, the emptiness between objects. We spend our lives focused on things, thoughts, identities, roles, possessions, stories. But wisdom traditions across time have always pointed to the same quiet truth. You are not the form. You are the space in which the form appears. And if you want to find yourself not as an idea, not as a personality, not as a role, you must learn to rest in the formless void. If I say a sentence aloud, the words only make sense because of the silence holding them. Without the pause, without the space, there is only noise. The same is true of thought. You don't experience thought continuously. You experience thoughts appearing inside awareness. And if you watch closely, you'll notice there is always a gap, a pause, a space between one thought and the next. That space is not empty. That space is you. Scriptural wisdom, the formless source, the Christian Bible. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was a formless and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. Genesis 1 and through 2. Before form, formlessness. Before creation, the void. And then, be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Not think, not believe, be still. Stillness is the doorway. In the Qur'an, Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. Quran 24:35. Light here is not physical light. It is consciousness itself. And again, the Quran. Wherever you turn, there is the face of God. Quran 2:115. Meaning, not in objects, not in forms, but in the field that contains all directions. The Bhagavad Gita. That which pervades all things, which nothing can destroy, that is the imperishable. Bhagavad Gita 2:17. Krishna points Arjuna beyond action, beyond form, to the unchanging presence beneath experience. The Gita repeatedly teaches, you are not the body, you are not the thoughts, you are the witness, you are awareness. Some Buddhist teaching, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. This is from the Heart Sutra. This is not poetry, it's precision. Form arises from emptiness and returns to emptiness. The void is not nothing. It is potential itself. Rudolf Steiner spoke about this. And he didn't use the modern non-dual language, but his descriptions are extremely clear. Steiner on the space of thinking. Steiner taught that pure thinking, thinking free of sensory images and egoic reaction, becomes a doorway to spiritual perception. He emphasized learning to observe the moment before a thought forms. Observe the space in which thinking arises. Observe the stillness behind mental activity. In The Philosophy of Freedom, Steiner points out, when we observe thinking itself, we step outside subject and object and enter a realm of living consciousness. That realm is not personal. It is formless awareness. Steiner described the etheric world as a field of formless forces, invisible, non-material, yet structuring all life. This aligns remarkably with modern physics. The void is not empty. It is alive with organizing intelligence. Steiner taught that spiritual development requires learning to tolerate inner emptiness, learning to resist filling silence with habit, learning to stay awake in stillness, because consciousness awakens in the gap. Quantum physics tells us what appears solid is mostly empty space. Atoms are not little balls, they are probability fields. Matter emerges from the quantum vacuum. Physicists now openly say the vacuum is not nothing. It is a seething field of energy and potential. Neuroscience shows the sense of self is constructed. The brain fills gaps with narrative. Silence between neural firings is essential for perception. Meditation studies shows that when the brain quiets, activity in the default mode network decreases. Identity softens, presence increases. A felt sense of spaciousness arises. People consistently report, I wasn't thinking, but I was more aware than ever. Why this matters for manifestation, for life? You do not create from force. You create from presence. The void is the womb of form. If you are always filling space with effort, identity, story, and struggle, there is no room for new life to arise. Creation happens after stillness. Insight comes after silence. Clarity appears between thoughts. This is why stillness feels powerful. Silence feels intelligent. Presence feels complete. You don't find yourself by adding more. You find yourself by resting in what remains when everything drops away. So, notice the space between this breath and the next, between this thought and the next, between this moment and the next. That space is not empty. It is home. You are not a wave. You are the ocean. Not the word, but the silence that gives it meaning. Rest there. Go in love and peace. I wish you wisdom and understanding. Enjoy this day.